Okay, so today, guys, we're doing box and whisker plots. All right. And before we get started, let's just look at what a box and whisker plot should look like. So the layout of it looks something like this, where you have a box and then you have whiskers. So you have the lower extreme, that's going to be the smallest number in the set. And then you have the upper extreme, which is the largest number in the set. And then you have the line in the middle of the box. That's our median, guys. So the median is when you line up the numbers from least to greatest and you pick the middle one. If it happens to be two middle numbers, you would take the average of them. The beginning of the box is what we call the lower quartile. That's going to be the middle number between your lowest extreme and your median. And then the end of the box is the upper quartile. That's going to be the middle number between the median and the upper extreme. All right. So if we look at number one, they were nice enough to put these in order for us, right? So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 the other way. So if we took the average of 95 and 105, that would be 100. So our median is 100. So if I look at these graphs, I know it's not A because that median line's not at 100. B, maybe, it looks close. It looks like it's a little bit past it, but let's not rule it out yet. C, it definitely looks like it's at 100. And then D, definitely not at 100. So we got it down to B and C. All right. So then the next thing, our lower extreme, our smallest number was 50. It looks like both of them are at 50. The upper extreme is at 156. So each line's by 10. So they look about right for upper extreme. But notice the boxes are totally different, right? So they're saying that the lower quartile is around 80. And over here, they're saying the lower quartile is a little bit less than 70. So remember what lower quartile is, the middle number between the lower extreme and the median. So if I look at these numbers right here and take the middle, it's going to be 67. So the answer, 67, looks like it would be on C. So C is my answer for number one. For number two, the numbers are definitely larger, but that's okay, guys, because they put them in order for us. If they're not in order, you have to do that before you get started with this. All right. So let's find the median. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. We got 10 numbers. So again, 5 and 5, we're going to take the average. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 the other way. So we're going to take the average of those two numbers. So we know it's going to be around 7,000 something, right? If you look here, it looks like each line is going by 1, 2, 3, 4. So each line's about 250, right? So we know it's not B because that median line is way past 8,000. And our answer should be in the low 7,000s for median. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's find the average of those two circled numbers. So it would be 6,997 plus. So I'm just adding them up and dividing by 2. That's all I'm doing. Okay. So the median is 7,171.5. If each line's about 250, right? Where would that be? So it's not 250. Each line would be 500, right? 6,500, 7,000. A's looking pretty good there. So I'd say between A and D right now, they're both looking pretty good. All right. So let's look at the next thing. The lower quartiles look about the same for A and D. It's the upper quartiles that look, well, all right, let's look at the upper quartile. Upper quartile's pretty close to 1,000. So if I took the middle of the upper half, right, it'd be about 9,500. So if we're going by 500s each line, right, this would be 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, it would be D. It would be D. This upper quartile looks much closer to 9,528 than A. Okay. So let's go on to the next ones, 3 and 4. All right. So for 3 and 4, they put them in order for us again. Yep, it looks like it. So this time we got 3, 6, 9, 11. So finding the middle is going to be easy with an 11 number. So we just go 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this would be our median. It looks like each line, it looks like each line's about 200, sorry, each line is about 2,000 on these grids here, on these number lines. So 18,000 for our median. So 18,000 would be here, right? And it's got to be a little bit more than that. So it can't be A because we have 18,450. So if 18,000 is right here, our median line's to the left of it. So here's 1,800. So that's to the left. That can't work. C, C might work. What about D? D's way too far over, right? 18, 18. Okay. You could look at other things like, is there any other difference in these? Um, upper quartile, we would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the middle of the upper half would be 27,000. 27,700 for your upper quartile. That's not going to work for A or B for sure. It's not going to work for C either, is it? So it's got to be D. Let's look here. Here's 1,600. Here's 1,800. I'm sorry, 18,000. So yeah, the median is to the right of 18,000. And you got an upper quartile, which would be at around 27,000. Yeah. So D. 4, they're in order again. So we have 3, 6, 9, 11. So the middle would be 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we should see our median line at 9,000. That is not at 9,000. The median line is the one inside the box. Definitely not B. Definitely not C. So it has to be D for 4. Okay, so let's go to 5 and 6. All right, so for 5 and 6, they want us to just make our own box and whisker plot. You don't really need a number line for this. We're just gonna make it how we feel necessary. So we know that we need our lower extreme, we need the lower quartile, we need the median, we need the upper quartile, and we need the upper extreme. Same thing over here. When we go to the number 6, it'll be the lower extreme, the lower quartile, the median, the upper quartile, the upper extreme. Okay, so they're in order. That's nice. There looks to be 6, 10. So we're gonna have two middle numbers, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then going the opposite way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it looks like 27,920 and 27,950. If you took the average of those two numbers, so you would add them up and divide by 2, or you could just look at the 20 and 50 and add up 20 and 50, which is 70, and divide it by 2 to get 27,935. All right, we know that the lower extreme is going to be 2,340. We know that the upper extreme is 45,100. Okay, so now we just need the lower quartile and the upper quartile. So if I take this first middle number along with the lower extreme and find the middle of those, the middle would be right here at 20,780. Okay, for the upper quartile, since we had two middle numbers, we'll take the larger middle with the upper extreme and find the middle, and that would be right here at 33,000. All right, so we're ready to make our box and whisker plot. So we got our 2,000, and it's really hard to write with this pen. So I'm sorry that it looks a little crooked. All right, and then we have our lower quartile at the beginning of the box, which is at 20,700. And 80, right? And then we're going to have our median, which is going to be a little bit past that. So you can see that the number, if you had a number line, obviously it would look a little more neat and a little more accurate, right? But for right now, we're just learning the components of the box and whisker plot. We're not really worried about making it to scale today. The pen does not like me today. So the end of the box would be my upper quartile at 33,000. And then I'm going to have my last whisker at 45,100. All right. So let's put the next one in red. There we go. So for the next one, the lower extreme is going to be 13,250. And then our upper extreme, 68,390. We have 3, 5, 7, 9. So we have 9 numbers. So our middle number is going to be the fifth one, which would be right here, 32,310. All right. So the lower quartile is going to be the middle of that, of these numbers right here, the lower half. And it looks like we're going to have 2 of them. So 22,290 and 22,300. Well, what would be in the middle of that? That would be 22,990, sorry, 295. And then the upper quartile is going to be the middle of the upper half, which would be this number and this number. So I'm going to take my calculator for that one. We're going to add them up and divide by 2. So 42,380 plus 67,550 divided by 2. And that would give us an upper quartile of 54,965. So my lower extreme, 13,250. I realized that I scrolled down, that's okay. So for my box, the lower quartile would be 22,295. Median would be the middle of the box. Doesn't always lie in the middle, but it's in between is what I meant to say. So that would be 32,000. $310. Upper quartile would be 54,000. This is obviously not the scale the way we're drawing it. We're just understanding the components today. 965. And then your whisker is going to be 68,390. Okay. So if we had a number line and we put this on a number line, the spread of it would look different. Okay. We just did it by hand to get used to the components. Something else, if you did not see the median line inside of a the box on the box whisker plot, that means that the median is either the same as the lower quartile or it's the same as the upper quartile. All right. So just message me if you guys have any questions about this, and I'll see you on the next video.